Aloha, it is Dave Lawrence. How you doing? A big mahalo for tuning in. Today, I'm very excited because I get to have my little buddies, as I like to call them, back in here. We don't have a lot of rock bands in the community that I've been able to sort of gravitate towards, and have my own friends who are in a rock band that are up and coming. These are a pretty unique group. It's EMKE. You heard them, I guess it was December. Is that when we did our little feature on you guys? It was a few months ago. It was I'm going to say 3 to 4 months ago we did a feature. And it's Kira and Esri Santos and Mari Arakawa, Peyton Sekigawa, and welcome to HPR's Atherton studio.
Thank you.
A pleasure to have you here. Is this what you expected it to look like? I was telling you guys I was going to have you come by and see. Is it bigger, better?
Yeah.
Shinier?
Warmer. Yeah.
It's warmer?
Because the wood. The wood?
Okay.
What?
Thinking it's not our Letterman-esque temperatures that we've got, but I know what you mean. It has a very warm feel being here. Plus, we have our HBR Aloha. So the reason that we've gathered the kids, as they're affectionately known, together here in the studio is this record, which is the new EMKE EP. And if you were checking out our interview, I guess it was December, now that I remember it, Promises and Expectations was about to happen, hadn't happened yet. You guys had started the work, you were playing the tunes live, you had sort of finalized the lineup of the group, if you will, and now the record is here. I have my own signed copy of Promises and Expectations. Kira, I guess the title, why this title? I know it's one of the tunes on there, but is there anything that sort of led to this? Is it a deeper meaning maybe?
Well, because we're honestly having a really hard time thinking of a name for the album.
It's tough stuff.
Yeah, we couldn't think of one. So it's like, why don't we use one of the song names? And that's just the one that sounded like, I guess, the catchiest. Yeah.
Yeah, it has the most, it's sort of all-encompassing. It's like, I would go, of all the song titles on here, I would say that would be a good one to choose. Was there at all a choice between another title? Was there something else that could have been the title and wasn't?
No, we kind of just like reverted to that one, like automatically.
Okay, that's cool. Well, that's it's nice, and it gives the record that sort of, because when I thought of it, Promises and Expectations, I don't know how, I mean, maybe when when you think about it, you're like, wow, this band has a lot of promise, there are a lot of expectations. It's not just a song on the record. I don't know, to me, it's sort of like, it makes a lot of sense in terms of like who the group is, and my own sort of, I think there's a lot of promise. I feel like there's a lot of expectations. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, wow, I wonder how they came up with such an accurate title for what it will be. And another thing that we had talked about before, which was the whole, and it lends itself into what I'm holding here, the whole concept of how you're going to sell the record. It's 2012, things have evolved so much, and you obviously are going for the hard copies, but it's more of a digital thing too. What's your intention of like where are people going to buy this thing?
Well, it's on Amazon, and it's on iTunes and CD Baby too. But we also have some hard copies. And
you thinking, what do you think? Most people are people so far, are they downloading it mostly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so how many of these you have sold? Some of these people can get them where? Where can people get these if they want to get the hard copy of the disc?
Hard copies?
Yeah. Do we have that information? We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Don't want to riddle the kids with too many heavy questions. Where to get the record and stuff. Esri, anything about making this that's really, now that it's done and I'm holding it in my hands, is there anything about it that you're most proud of? That maybe picking up instruments along the way, expanding your technique?
I think I'm most proud of, well, just because that it's our first CD, which is like really exciting for me because it's like we've never had anything that big happen to us. So I'm just proud of the whole thing in general, of it actually happening.
And you're on all these things playing in addition to singing and the bass. You also have some guitar on the record, some keyboards on the record. So it's like a real there's a lot of stuff. And you just, in between when I first met you and now, forgive me if I have the year wrong, you turned 12. So, yeah. Right? Okay. So, I mean, these guys are all still under 16, right? So it's like you're 16, 15, 12.
Actually, Kira's 16 now.
I just turned 16.
Oh, look at that. we better make you guys happen fast because we'll be all grown up and we'll lose half the novelty. Happy birthday on that. Peyton, anything about the record that when we last hooked up, you were sort of a development in progress, like heading towards more instrumentation, doing more stuff? Did the record let you expand any of your skill sets? Is there anything on it that you're particularly proud of?
Yeah, just my drumming, because I never really contributed into anything like this before, so just having my drums part in there is really cool.
And your big brother, who was the former drummer of the band, how does he think? What's his opinion of it?
He likes it. He only heard it like once though, I think.
Really? How come he hasn't heard it more?
I don't know.
I'll have to ask him. And is he jealous at all that age sort of dumped
tell.
him from
I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell.
It's all age, huh? Or he'd still be an EMKE.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He just felt that.
It just didn't feel right.
Yeah. I don't know. He's
he's
older.
old.
At his age.
A favorite track on here, Mari, or a favorite accomplishment maybe of doing the record?
I think my favorite track would be Too Late. It's just really fun to play because I play bass on that song, and every time we play it, there's just so much energy.
That was one that I gravitated to before we featured here on HPR. Has the arrangement of it changed now that it's been laid down for its official version?
Yeah, we changed the beginning. It's more like
Big.
Yeah, it's bigger. It's not like the recording is what I'm trying to say.
Sure. And is the process of the arrangements, the thing that we gave credit to Esri and Kira's father, Mark, but it's really the band. But we in the interview that we did on the air previously in December, we acknowledged his role in sort of shaping the band and bringing you guys together. It's hard to define it. When it comes to the arrangements and actually translating these songs to an EP, which is, for all intent and purposes, it's your first official record. Did you come up with the arrangements more on your own? Did you feel like you sort of took charge of this and maybe took some of the control out of Mark's hands?
Yeah. And mostly when we were recording it, then we sat with him and we told him where things went and everything. Kind
of like self-producing the record in a way. The CD release party, it's coming up Sunday at the Hard Rock Cafe. Is it going to be different than a regular show? Have you put any thought into, we're going to make this special in certain ways? Or are you just going to go out there and bang out the EMKE tunes?
There's going to be cake.
Yeah. With our picture on it.
There you go. Of course it's going to be special. Cake. Gotta have cake for the kids. In addition to that, anything on the set end of it? The set's going to be, the standard. Are you refining towards a set, or are you still experimenting with the order of the songs?
No, we kind of sort of came up with a final arrangement of the songs. We're mostly going to do our originals. I think we're going to do all of our originals. But, just because everybody knows us for our classic rock, we're going to throw in a few.
That has got to be, it's great that you mentioned it, because it's a bittersweet thing. You have established yourself as this really cute thing to watch these little kids playing Journey or Van Halen or Def Leppard. But when you put that aside, it's also important to develop your own musical skills, to be your own original act. Are the covers, just from what you're saying there, are they slowly fading away?
They are, yeah. We're mostly sticking to our music. Yeah.
That's good. It's an important transition. I mean, that's like a really big deal to move it so that, I guess that's what I was saying, the composition of the show. Yeah. So somebody comes, they go and see EMKE. They're going to come away from it, or are they going to say to themselves it's mostly original music that they saw, or are they going to come out of there and they're still going to probably have the Van Halen songs? I mean, is it going to be mostly original, or are you going to shift it to leave in just a handful of covers?
Yeah, only a little bit of covers, just to please the audience and everything, so we can play stuff that they recognize and everything. But we want to be recognized as ourselves. So I think that we definitely want people to walk away from our gigs as oh, their originals sound really good.
Yeah, yeah, and that's an important thing. So we have 6 on the record. Are there more that are in store at the show? How many? Because that was another thing that I remember. I visited their rehearsal space, which was really a cool thing. I got to talk to them in the place that they work on their stuff. Have you developed more than the 6? I mean, total, how many songs does EMKE have?
We have a couple that we haven't recorded yet.
Yeah.
That are finished?
We have about 4 that we didn't record yet, actually.
We're not going to play those, though.
Okay, so it'll just be the 6.
Yeah, because we're kind of focusing on this is the EP release party. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Any of them have any extended jams or improvisations? Are you stretching out any of these songs? Have you allowed yourselves little places so that the songs aren't so structured that you have the entire song down? Is there room for any sort of improvisation? Or are you really kind of focusing on getting these songs in a recognizable, tight sort of way?
I think
you stretch out at all?
Yeah, we stretch out some. We stretch out some, but we mainly keep it how it is so it's recognizable.
So on stage, you won't decide to just start stretching out right on stage.
Not right now.
Sure.
Because, it's still getting out there.
I
People
bet.
don't really know about us, so we're kind of sticking to like a set thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe later when people actually know our songs.
And are familiar with them.
then we'll stretch them out.
Yeah, and it's kind of like how when you were describing the covers, I can see the covers going that way, that basically the set will be a short set of all your original stuff, and you'll put a cover or two in just for fun. And it'll be kind of fun for your fans, too, because that way you'll dose the covers out sparingly, and when you do one, it'll be kind of special, that they can kind of get excited for. The EP, I'm assuming, is going to be on sale at the concerts, right? Yeah. So, like, in addition to this, when people show up, I know you have a few other dates coming up, too, that we'll mention in a second, but when people show up to see you, they can purchase this EP there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
And we're going to have download cards, too.
And how does that work? Explain that.
If you go to the website on the back, it's CD Baby, and you type in a code on the back, then you get the EP, right?
So they'll buy a download card. It's like they buy the card, they go home, it's got the code, they can download the record. Yeah. The future, man, it's some crazy stuff. How about neighbor islands? People got to come here if they want to see this. So you guys have any plans to take the band around the state anytime soon? Because now I'm thinking like now that the record's coming out, there's got to be a whole lot of other stuff coming out. Any of those plans yet or no?
We don't really have any plans for it, but we want to.
To go to the other islands and stuff with it. What about, now this is a band that have previously already gone to the mainland. They did the NAMM showcase. You guys opened, as I recall, forgive me if I don't have all the details right, you guys opened for Journey's Neil Sean at the, which is huge. I mean, all kids under 16 opening for Journey's Neil Sean. Do you have another appearance like that on tap coming up?
We're thinking of going to the NAMM show again this coming January.
Okay, so 2013.
Yeah, but other than that, it's kind of
no
like...
other mainland dates.
Because school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of the thing. I wonder how, so you guys you're what? You're a
I'm
sophomore?
a sophomore.
So you guys, and you still a sophomore too?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that starts to get the battle. If you guys get too successful and you're not out of school, what do you think they'll do? Just get a tutor, bring it on the road with you? Do it like a lot of bands do. And then finally, I guess sort of just as a summary before we hear one of these songs, which I'm very excited to hear in the studio, without having anything concrete, which we've just sort of established, once you've done this CD release gig and 2012 moves forward, are there any other things that you'd like to do or that people should keep an eye out other than just seeing EMKE around the islands? Anything in particular? You guys going to try to do a tour maybe? Has there been any discussion about that? I love that. It looks
really.
to the sky. Tour.
I think we're just going to start working on more originals for maybe next CD. Together, probably during summer.
Mm-hmm. We don't really have anything planned,
That's
honestly.
cool. No, you have the record is enough, but it's exciting just to see. There's a big progression. Once you have that, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to, much greater stuff. Well, I'm looking forward to Sunday. I think it's going to be a lot of fun coming down to the gig, and I appreciate you coming here to the studio, too. Thanks for being willing to come down and do this.
Thank you.
You excited to play a song for me?
Yeah.
All right.